for Astralis. A confident start for the CT stand.
Yes, absolutely. They want to fight. It's not going to go down to a bonbon. That's what a buy like this can often suggest. And they'll go forward into the connector position where you can often get a fast peek. And Flame, he's waiting for it. No connections there, but oh my goodness, there's some support from Gla1ve. You can see Astralis playing two-man teams there between short B and connector. And they come out with a 5v4 and they go all the way passive. They're happy with that.
Yeah, and on overpass, CTs will often start in aggressive positions and fall back, and it takes a while to clear out all these areas. And again, it looks like dupreeh might be playing a bait with Device. Well, he can choose to peek as well. He'll do that. Short exchange, but nothing doing just yet. Gla1ve still a man down. Simple and Flamey have P250, so they can go for the long-range engagements as well. If you've got a Glock, you've got about half the distance for a one-shot to the head and a pistol round. So you'll be looking for closer quarter engagements.
Just as you mentioned, a lot of timing burned here, but dupreeh goes for a information play. He's going to find one Gla1ve player, but how much does that tell him? It's not the whole picture just yet for Astralis, but they don't need it. They have the man advantage and make that two. dupreeh very quick there onto Edward as it becomes a 5v3. Perhaps Gla1ve, their hand will be forced here. They have to make something happen. Simple with that P250. It's a very good gun, but he gets double peeked, and it's Astralis absolutely ruining Gla1ve here. Headshots abound, and just Zeus is left. Oh dear. Zeus gets one. P250 in action, but shut down 1-0 for Astralis.
Hopefully that round is not telling of how this map will go, because there was almost nothing in there for Gla1ve at all. They got beaten up like a whisked egg on the previous map, and maybe the same will happen here. It's down to them to try and change their future. But that's a very confident start on the CT side for Astralis. One kill. And again, if you lose a pistol, you at least want to do some damage. You need to get some frags in these next two rounds, assuming you lose both of them. We explained that story when Astralis were on the T side of the previous map, and now we look to Gla1ve to do the same.
There it is, as you mentioned before, we see that very fast aggression. Make that double, actually. Gla1ve pushing in very quickly here to Sewers as well, having a very fast and forward position. And this is brilliant, because if there is to be a fast B play, which can often happen in Gla1ve's position, Astralis immediately can sort of mess up that push and stagger the offense. But after that initial rush timing that they're trying to counter, they'll fall back out into safe positions on the bomb site. They know it won't be a rush now, and they've got some early information.
1 minute 10, and dupreeh admires the skin of his MP7. Not shy to be up top, expose that long position. And Gla1ve know that there's probably cover from further back, and indeed, Device is there if needed. dupreeh can use that smoke to suggest he might be lurking back. As you could see, there was a jump peek there. Again, going back to early overpass near the party area, it was a place where Edward would always have a jump peek. Never punished, doesn't do it anymore though. But it's always good to have somebody looking for habits, as Zonic might do for Astralis. dupreeh now holding onto this long position. And again, this is round two. We've only seen one frag for Gla1ve. They need to get more out of this round.
Yeah, it would definitely be nice. Start to whittle away the economy of Astralis as it grows. And Simple, of course, already dangerous, but there goes the bomb at the feet of dupreeh, as Simple has been spotted now and still looking for that kill. And how hard it is, how difficult Astralis are making it for Simple to have a favorable. Quick flip comes in for the frag, but is that good enough? I guess we'll find out soon, as AKs will be coming out from Gla1ve in the next round.
One frag per round isn't quite hitting the mark, it has to be said. And ooh, we're going to have the surprise buy from Gla1ve. This is not what you normally have in round number 3 after losing the pistol. Now, if they fail to get something done here, they're going to be on the back foot. But have a look at this. Electronics being given the AK, Flamey with a Galil, 2 Deagles and a P250 on Zeus. They've got some grenades. There's an early one, and maybe that's an early warning. Why is there a flashbang in round number 3, Device may ask?
Absolutely, but dupreeh, he's not having too much of an issue. Does take a lot of damage, but gets the frag, and that's what's important. Falls back. Oh, the flash timing there. Magis finishes it off. Electronics down, and that's what the AK out of play, and that tells Astralis everything they need to know. They're so proactive here.
The first 2 frags they got were the Galil and the AK with SMGs. They're having a whale of a time, Astralis. Finally, though, a pistol will do something. Xipek's taken out for the second time. But again, he was in a very aggressive position. Don't expect to see an Astralis player there. Magisk moonwalking out of the tunnel earlier on. And now they're starting to fight back, Na'Vi. Do Astralis have an idea as to where the bomb might be? That's a question.
That's a very interesting model. That's really going to suggest that there may be a push on Monster. You can see Magisk has a very good position to just delay if there is a push, but he doesn't have a position to get information to confirm if they are pushing Monster. So right now, Astralis don't have any idea as to what's going on. And Na'Vi have made a real round of this, and they've all got rifles now, which is a very welcome change for them as they start to encroach closer onto that A-bomb site. And it needs to go their way here. dupreeh with 11 HP, the man to stop it perhaps.
They're running out of time. Also, this toilet sign, look for that to be covered in spray later on to make it harder for teams to line up their grenades. But 19 seconds, the time is running low for Na'Vi. Indeed, they have position, or they had position, but Magisk keeps getting fragged. He keeps out-dueling with that lowly SMG, and he won't go down. He refuses to go down. 9 seconds now. Simple has given himself a chance, but he's parking on the wrong side, surely. Indeed, he is. Unbeknownst to him, Gla1ve outside the box to get the 3-0 for Astralis.
And it's so heartbreaking, isn't it? You just can't know. It's a gamble at that point. You don't know whether the CT will be rotating from B or, well, from which side from B. And unfortunately for Na'Vi, they won't make it work. And surprised by has not left them in the worst of territory. You know, they did a lot of damage in that round. Only one player surviving for Astralis, which hurts their economy a lot. And this round, Na'Vi could, you know, get some pistols out, and they will. They've got a Deagle P250. Or actually, 3 P250s and 2 Deagles. So there is some damage potential here, and that's what they'll be looking for.
I see a variation of the bottle smoke on the T side of the monster tunnel, which makes it hard to rush in. If the smoke was on the other end, then the Ts would have a chance to burst through it with flashbangs over the roof, but that far back gives the CTs a little more advantage. One flashbang and one smoke for Na'Vi. Bomb picked up by Zeus, and it's trying to force Device back, but we'll have to wait and see if he agrees. dupreeh not aggressive up long this time. Astralis changing their formation. That previous round was good for Na'Vi in terms of frags, but of course, losing it was a gamble, put them back on eco, so Astralis can start to catch up once again.
And you never know with a buy like this. Minute left, and this setup, this base setup in the bathrooms could be quite powerful, but again, just takes one of those Deagles to connect, and everything can come toppling down here on the defense for Astralis, and they'll give it the respect. They'll fall back onto that bomb site. 40 seconds now, and Na'Vi's presence truly felt towards this A side of the map. And there's a peek here from Magisk. You can see he's looking towards the door there, and that's the mid position. Spots it, it's open, doesn't get the kill, but some damage in. The smoke, oh dear, that smoke's going to delay things. That makes life very hard for Na'Vi.
For those of you wondering why this round is taking so long, I think it's something the analysts have alluded to this week already, is that Na'Vi want Astralis to spend as much money as possible. Every edge has big value. That's why we're running the clock down. And as you can see, Astralis is almost gun. So we won't see the bonus money for Na'Vi having planted the bomb. But at the very least, in a round where a frag was unlikely, they made Astralis use almost all of their grenades.
Yeah, and that's like $1,200 or so for each player, so it is pretty valuable. And with always having the chance at getting some headshots in there as well. Certainly a well-played round, although they didn't get the kills. And we now move into AK-47s here for Na'Vi, and a full selection of utility to back that up. So it'll be fun to see what they decide to do with their first proper buy round. And there's no all power on the map just yet. An overpass, that feels very strange, but Astralis keeping their economy in check.
It's really cool to see that somebody made a proper jump throw for that smoke to monster tunnel, because before there were all kinds of stupid lines which took a lot longer to deploy the smoke grenade. So that really cuts the time down for the CTs, which is fantastic. Gla1ve is now holding a pop flash for the short B players. So off of your screen, while long is being taken, you can see the line there, the pop flash for the two CTs. They're not going to go all the way into short B, but maybe they have the inkling that it is most likely safe, and perhaps that will send more players for the CT side back towards A.
I love how active Astralis have been. They've used a lot of flashbangs to get information, and here comes dupreeh. Another information play. He's going to find out a lot. That's a beautiful flash. dupreeh absolutely blind and now dead as well. Na'Vi make their presence known as they start to trigger the push onto the A-bomb site, forcing Device back. Smoking off CT to prevent the rotation, but Gla1ve, he snuck his way forwards. Can he delay the push as he crosses into the base? He is isolated. He is so alone right now, trying to play this corner of the truck.
What's going on? There we go. Thank you.
And back into it we go as a quick fast forward nade is thrown by Astralis. Again, as mentioned, keeping that aggression on and making sure that every position is a guess for Na'Vi. They've got to spend all that facility to check every single corner, and meanwhile they fall all the way back to Astralis onto their bomb sites respectively. And the ops in play now on Device, that can change everything. It's difficult to know where Device is going to be playing as well, because he can play pretty much every position on this map. He's very dynamic.
Yes, he is. He's not in battle sniper mode just yet. It is the two-man setup towards long with 3 on B. But as time continues to tick, will we see the positions change for the CTs? dupreeh hasn't been too shy to just hang out on long. So what does the information in dupreeh's position mean for the rest of the team? If his position is compromised, obviously we'll see a big rotation, but will he look for something, or will they just continue to play out this bait setup? Gla1ve moving up now, so there is a change as time continues. They're putting 2 in this direction. I would have thought he might have covered towards Device's left, but no, they're really invested in long.
Maybe they have a read here as how Na'Vi might play around like this. And we've seen some pop flashes for Edward previously, but he is alone, and there is a huge blind spot. I wonder if Device will check it in time. We'll have to see if Na'Vi will push all the way up. There's smokes on the bomb site all over the place here, and they start to know. Edward spots Device. 2 players are turned towards him as Device has to defend. Coming in from the bottom. Edward just has to
when the peak finally comes in. In the meantime, Device is in a 1 versus 4. Smokes all over the place, and they get almost completely wiped, if not wipes. And they're put on the pistol, so I guess they were wipes. 2 to 4 now, still in favour of Astralis, but the current situation is all Na'Vi.
Yeah, I think you made a really good point there, James. Just the mind games between the 2 teams. Both teams will have studied the hell out of each other to going into this game, and will be trying to bank on some of those tendencies. And if that really was the thinking from Na'Vi, that is the 500 IQ play. And what an important moment for it. Again, as you say, we're on the pistols for Astralis, and Simple will take down Zipex towards the B bomb site as Na'Vi increase the amounts of map control that they have. Electronic now will have some fun as well.
And I'm sure they would love to have a strong T side.
Yeah, that already looks so good, or so much better, I should say. And there is the quick Molotov there from Electronic to delay any fast pushes on shorts. Zipex meanwhile flashed in, and that smoke is not perfect, but was it by design? I'm not sure. If it was thrown by the CTs, must have been. At least it's a deep one. And there's no T's down there. Teams will often put a lurker from the T side on that monster tunnel.
Yeah, you never quite know, and Electronic is respecting the edge of the smoke. If you start to creep close to the smoke, you will be more visible to your opponent in situation, so he really doesn't want to do that. Astralis now have changed their setup. Very important to change your identity when you're defending here in Counter-Strike. Now they don't have that investment that they had on long in previous rounds. dupreeh and Device in the toilet position, so maybe we will see more battle AWPer style from Device in this position.
The T's will now move further and further forwards. Bomb still left towards T-spawn, let's not forget as well. Someone will have to rotate to pick that up. I think it will be Simple as he makes his way back through playgrounds. And we'll see that Magisk might have a spot here. Once again, we also see the bait set up for Astralis in the toilets, very strong. But Na'Vi, they're starting to rotate back towards the B position. And Astralis don't have any info on this just yet. This might surprise them if Na'Vi go in quickly. We'll have to see if that's going to be the case, because there comes the counter smoke. Will that delay things, or will Na'Vi just go straight through?
You can see Zipex not standing deep in the corner by that barrel, so he's not exposed to short. Sometimes you might think no one's there, somebody is there. Smokes on the side. Matt just holding off angles as well. Gla1ve in a there we go, trying to ring the bell, but the AK's prevailed again. At least for the entry, bomb being planted, but still he's got Zipex by the barrel. He can't quite find the mark, and now we've got Na'Vi moving into post-strong situation. But they're a man down, and that stays that way as the trades come in. That's a nice shot there from Flamey. 2 more to find. dupreeh by the sandbags, and Gla1ve still at the back of the site.
It's very difficult. He's coming in, trying to hold the line. Trying to do it one more, but not the final one. Gla1ve saves it. Has time to collect the AWP and get the defuse in. Doesn't have a kit though, but there is plenty of time. And my goodness, that went down to the last man. So at the very least for Gla1ve, this is an opportunity. They did so much damage.
Yeah, this is actually
Characteristic so strong on a map like overpass. Will it be towards the B site, the A site? There's so many different options and ways to do it. And it could be the mix-up that Astralis need in this moment because they cannot concede this round. Otherwise, they are broken.
smoke down outside Monster as per usual. Often you'll find a T side lurking towards B with just the one player, but Gla1ve have three. Edward is moving over as well as you. So again, to me, this is indicative of the opportunity they know is ahead of them. They want to brute force into the B bomb site, use and abuse that numbers advantage, but Astralis see no presence around the map as well. They've got Dupree and Connector, and they've got 4 people focusing on the B bomb site. Astralis are expectant this is going to be a war.
Yeah, not too much utility left here for Astralis, but it may not matter because oh dear, Zipx goes down straight away. Gla1ve look to the flank, but Dupree stands strong, keeping himself alive, and it won't matter if he can take the bomb site. Looking to see what he can do. The transfer not good enough. Now it comes down to simple. The only player with any health left alive, and that's a great headshot from him. 45 seconds to play with. He has the bomb. This can still go so many ways. He can still go to A.
Oh, Zeus has got a free kill here. He's got a free kill unless the other CT goes back to the balcony, but he's got to be really careful about Gla1ve's position. He's got to take it close, and he's got to do it before they realize that nobody is on A. If that rotation comes back in, they could lose this opportunity. There's a flashback, quite tense. He's going for the spray, but Gla1ve's just hiding.
Throw in some cheeky aggression with some grenades, and that can cause big problems in a round such as this, which otherwise, had he lost the AWP, might be free. And we'll see that that is the case. Strauss buy up here, sending Device aggressively towards the fountain. And when I say buy up, it just means missiles and some supporting grenades.
They're spending a lot of money, though, compared to what they had. We saw on Nuke, these were very dangerous rounds, although overpass not quite Nuke, but there's still loads of close corners where they can spam these CZs. And they can play crossfires quicker than you can communicate the issue. Quicker than you can react, adjust. 2 HEs, Zipx and Gla1ve, they were holding them for a second, but it seems they've gone back to their guns now. Keep an eye on those grenades. Look at the timing from Dupree. Absolutely perfect from him. Just as Monster has questions asked through it. Flamey continues.
Big save coming in there from Flamey, and Gla1ve stands quite strong as they push him. With that C10 of his pushes forward. It looks like the coordination coming out fantastic from Gla1ve so far, and they will survive with key rounds with their 4 buys. And this time it's quite the different story as they look confident up against Astralis, not only individually but as a team, and also with the calls from the in-game leader, Mr. Zeus. They have been good so far, and got to be so careful in rounds such as this. We'll see what their approach is. Looking at a default so far, just keeping things pretty steady here. Quick pop flash over sewers for Electronic to get some information. Where is Device? Gla1ve may find out sooner and not in the way that they want than later if we see Device go for this peak, but going to fall back onto the B bomb site. Astralis gamble stacking B, and they are right so far at least.
This has been favoured from Gla1ve of late. However, this time they have Edward going for information. He's just moving to the long position at the moment. Are we going to see a 3-man boost from Astralis? Look at where they're going. Information seeking, but Device is not one of these players. There's 2. Up we go, and there's number 3. Hello, Zeus. Does he see the play to his left? I'm not sure if he did. Gla1ve don't expect this. The problem is, even without a kill, this is a lot of information. Ding dong, and that's Zeus taken out. Still don't think they saw Electronic, however, but he is being do the same.
Yeah, he's been quite amazing with his aggressive plays. Looking forward to seeing how that pans out for him. Device looking for the typical fountain peak here with the AWP, and those flashes will go behind. Ooh, that was a close one. Teasing. We'll see Gla1ve quickly take Connector. Astralis get the information. We'll get some utility exchanges. They still work on early map control. And Device rotating with an AWP, it seems. Reinforcing that B bomb site. Astralis perhaps, I mean, they know it. Gla1ve have had a lot of success hitting this B bomb site. And they reckon it's going to be another B.
But I like the idea. Gla1ve starting passive towards A. And Device is starting to creep. Electric now the lone lurker around the B area. Now, will Astralis have a false sense of security, perhaps? Electronic looking for a place to jump off the sandbags and one-tap them. That would be a good denial of information. Still 3 players on B. They know Na'Vi like to take it slow in most cases, at least towards the A site. And now Gla1ve is starting to move up long. How far will he go, though?
A moment of silence here as to creep towards A once again. Bomb still towards B, and there is 25 seconds left in the round. Astralis starting to get antsy here. Surely Na'Vi must be going somewhere, and they have to commit into a bomb site. It's got to be B at this point. Bomb on Monster. It will be dropped by Simple as he pushes forwards. The entry fragger there with that AK-47 device with a lock on with that AWP. He misses the flick, but Simple gets himself a headshot, and that's Na'Vi on the way in. In seconds to partner. They have to hold the block. Can they find their way onto a block? Close, but no, and it's denied, and there's no chance here in the 1v3 for Electronic as Astralis. It seems like it could be the case right now in Na'Vi. Back on the AK-47s, that double orb is still persisting here for Astralis, of course, and they still have so much left in their playbook, James. This is worrying for Na'Vi.
Oh, close. But not quite. 3 players starting towards B for Na'Vi. That's very telling. Again, we wonder about the time. And managed to avoid the flashback in the B. I know there was one for him as well. A meeting of the minds from Na'Vi and Astralis. And the CTs get off better for a time. But it is a full favor Na'Vi, especially with so much time on the clock. It's going to be harder for Astralis to go for that information, but they're not shy of a jump peek. They're just constantly showing presence to CTs towards short B. They're telling Na'Vi, we know where you are, and we are expectant. What are you going to do about that?
And they got some confidence, that's for sure. They can go and take some risks if they want to and try to surprise Na'Vi, because they've been pretty passive, generally speaking, around these positions. Edward is the weakest player. He's asking questions towards that A-bomb site, trying to get some information for Na'Vi, burning that time, using that time to try to make the round more secure, as you mentioned, James. And that bomb is still more moving towards that B-bomb site as Device gets the pick towards A. And now Edward, my goodness, this could be a huge play. Will his timing be good though? Oh, catches a rotation. Oh, it takes a flash in the face. But now his teammates can go into that B bomb site, and it's clear, James. They have no idea, Astralis.
Yeah, Gla1ve is in short B though. He could be there sooner rather than later. That's a massive frag for Edward. He's only got 14 HP. Now what can Gla1ve do? Device is miles away from the site, having to rotate away from A, down the long position. And Gla1ve is very close to the smoke. Can he really afford to wait for Device? Gla1ve is the man who is hit in this situation. Wondering what else could be going on, but it seems that Astralis are thinking better of it, and they will hold on to these 2 weapons. Device with 4650 in the bank, they can buy around what they have, so they have chosen the conservative route, and we are looking at round number 6 for Na'Vi.
Wow, what an amazing round. If you consider that, as you mentioned, 14 HP on Edward, he somehow finds that blind spot. Able to push all the way, finds the key rotation. Absolutely brilliant. Na'Vi back in it. When you thought things were looking very grim, they pick up a very key round. And the money for Astralis. Still looking pretty decent, so they're not in too much trouble as we move in towards the ending rounds of this first half. The flash is connecting for Edward for a little bit more damage, but it didn't seem to matter. And good to see Edward making some key plays there. But this could be brutal. If Na'Vi are to lose this one, they are pretty screwed for the following round. But it's good to see the Simples on the AWP here on the T side, James.
Yeah, I think that can be said for both these teams because there's not much cash in the bank, so a 9-6 or an 8-7. Which one are we going to see? Edward in the playground. Too big for the swing, of course. Gla1ve connector, Device moving back from the toilet position. Many different angles he can take there. There's a big flashbang from Zeus. But of course, there's no reaction from the CTs because they are further back. 2 CTs in the B bomb site, but Dupree will be the rotation man. The balloons point to Na'Vi. Ooh, but nobody quite knows where they are.
And Device just took a flash there because there was no peek. Device gets to hold the angle still. Astralis surely asking some questions. The rotation comes in. Device suspicious now, and click of the finger, and Na'Vi could be in some trouble because they are burning a lot of time. So they start to creep up A long, and Gla1ve picks up the kill onto Zeus. Astralis is surely starting to put the pieces of the picture together as to what Na'Vi are doing.
Have a look at Gla1ve though. He is rotating towards the person who's just picked up the bomb, but he might not be able to catch him in time. Of course, he doesn't know the bomb is there, and indeed, Na'Vi now running down the long position. Edward avoiding flashbang, but there's time for the CTs to rotate now because they've been contained in that position. And Dupree's still at the front of the site, which means that Device is baiting. Even if he goes down, there are huge problems for Na'Vi, especially with this time on the clock.
Someone's got to come out clutch. I don't know who it's going to be. And FACEIT gets himself a fantastic shot. But 1 second. Dupree's even better. FACEIT locked down.
Already 1-0 up in this best-of-3 series.
Na'Vi, can they get number 7? It's a couple pistols and a couple AKs and a bag full of grenades here to make it happen. It's going to be very difficult. Astralis has been so disciplined so far. Na'Vi starts to push towards the B positions here. We see Electronic being the man to push Suez by himself. And no spot just yet. Manages a slightly forward position, very safe. And has a teammate for support if required. Na'Vi, they've had much success towards that B bomb site, at least in opening it up, and it might be what can give them that 7th round. But Astralis definitely feeling it. They've got 3 players on B.
Na'Vi once again focusing on that B bomb site. Flash behind Zipek so we can peek Monster. Although, well, I guess they know that there's no money for an AWP in this round. Otherwise, the player far back would be able to take a shot anyway. Would be blinded for the briefest of seconds. Hear the warning bell. The train is on the way. Jules looks for that short position. Magic's good for 1. But Flamey will enact revenge. The bomb has not been spotted for Astralis just yet. Dupree will stay close to Connector on the high ground. But again, there are 3 CTs for Astralis.
It gets intense for them. That's when they get big on the stage. Let's hear it for Na'Vi. Let's give them some energy, London.
4 players for Astralis moving towards that B bomb site. I think there's a boost here for the CTs. Oh my days! A double dink straight in the face. He will need reconstructive surgery for that one, and the push continues for Astralis. Rush B, no grenades, no stop, leaving Zeus and Electronic. And now just the latter, wondering what on earth has happened. The players on B have been deleted.
My God, it's going to have to be the hardest way for Na'Vi, the hardest path, the path of most resistance. And I suppose that's how it's always going to be against Astralis. They tidy it up at the end. No one died for Astralis. That's pretty clean.
Boy, being in a boost position and getting shot in the face twice from 2 with a Glock. Bursting the watermelon.
It's not fair, James.
Na'Vi will be very thirsty indeed. They've lost the pistol round. Worst case scenario, defending after losing the first pistol, losing the second one. Already 9-6 down. 12-6 looking very, very likely. Starting with YRAM with half the score of your opponent. When they're playing for the major, not getting any better, is it? Taken out of the sky is Edward.
Seems like nothing can quite go Na'Vi's way at the moment. But pistols in hand, they look to stand strong on the B-bomb side as Astralis start to weigh it up, start to coordinate things. But maybe a timely boost here. Ooh, no, he's missed it. Into the water as Flamey is so incredibly blind, not much he can do. And everyone's talking. He gets a quick headshot here. They line up, he gets another ding. Damage up, Electronic picks up a Mac 10. Through onto Zipex. Surely not. 2 more players to go here for Electronic as he gets a moment to breathe fire. Oh no, he runs out of bullets. Can you believe it?
What was that execute from Astralis? There were flames, they turned all the lights on, nobody could see anything. But Electronic still found a way to make it close, but not close enough. Look at the adjustment. Heinous stuff. He did well to take it that far, but no. 11-6, and now they have the USPs. 1 P50 on Zeus, a flashbang on Electronic, but we're looking at a 12-6 scoreline there.
We are definitely, again, it's just so difficult for Na'Vi, isn't it?
It's difficult for everybody else who isn't Astralis in Counter-Strike.
That is very true. That is very true. And, you know, it feels like we are still waiting to see Simple truly activated as well. That's something that we're waiting for. You know, perhaps when Na'Vi can get some momentum on their CT side, he can get an AWP in his hands. He can start having some freedom, the run of the map, build up that confidence, start showing us the quality we know that he has. Na'Vi do play proactive with what little they have, taking over the Suez position, but for Astralis, they know how to deal with pretty much any situation in the anti-eco.
The Na'Vi players on a death march from the B bomb site. And the gods will show them mercy. The mercy of Zepex's AK-47, although Simple may have nothing to say about that. The pre-fire was inevitable. Edward will ring the bell, but we're looking at 12-6 Astralis. Ultimately, that is the situation.
Absolutely, but there is perhaps a silver lining to this round. You know, as we've seen, Edward's managed to find himself an AK-47. They can try to protect that position on the map, and there is little incentive for Astralis to really go and hunt down Na'Vi. So we may get a gentleman's agreement when that AK just survives for Na'Vi, and that's something at the very least, James. Something for Na'Vi to keep hold of.
If they get there. But psychological warfare says hunt, and Magic's boy is looking for these players. Electronic and Edward running past his position. You can see him directing his sound so you can figure out where they're going. And Gla1ve is here to welcome them. You get some bonus money for some kills with this UMP. And of course they will want to take the AK away. Edward in the playground, and there goes the AK. An upgrade for Gla1ve, and Zeus doesn't have much to smile about with 18 HP and a P250 and half the score of Astralis.
I guess I was wrong, James. No gentleman's agreement. No gentleman in the grand finals of a major, of course.
No gentleman here, Dan. Just mans on road.
All the man did.
5-man on road for Astralis.
Indeed. And they hit 12 on the scoreboard now, and they are 4 rounds, 4 wins away from a very important trophy to perhaps really cement this Astralis era that we're seeing.
You know how badly Simple wants that trophy. He is not done with this match just yet. It's not done at all. 12-6. Astralis moving around. An exchange of grenades. Speaking of which, how deep is the grenade book of Astralis? Looking like a 3-part trilogy with the largest novels. Edward and Zeus getting aggressive towards short B now. Looking to take some real estate. It's very important for the CTs if they can take that area. Although they don't want to overextend, so holding the angle will be enough for now.
Astralis once again crossing the T's, dotting the I's. Don't want to fall into any setups Na'Vi have lying in wait, so they send out the grenades to deal with that, cover space, and also cover their tracks. Make it hard for Na'Vi to know what they are doing. And you can see some questions being asked of Simple in the bathrooms, but he'll find absolutely nothing behind that smoke. That cover of smoke, preventing Simple from seeing anything, is the window that Astralis start to rotate towards B. And again, Na'Vi none the wiser, but they do have 3 there to defend.
Very good timing from Edward, but dying surely wasn't part of the plan, and that may eke on Astralis. Simple with a flank now. One player taking out the point and throw the grenades, but does he fight to the death there? Being a nuisance is Simple. They know they can't really press on with his presence there. Manages to get a flashbang. Still 2 people stuck in the short B position. Look at the time on the clock. 17 seconds, and will Simple pick the right timing. Manages to move walking, that will be enough. There are still 3 CTs on the side. 10 seconds for the going to get wiped out. Hold on a second. 1-on-1 with 7 seconds left of device. Somehow takes. Sucks for Na'Vi. Man. Astralis running a clinic from team to team to team in this major. Simple towards long. Not with an AWP, but with a scout. 4 players towards Na'Vi. They're asking a lot of him with that weapon. And Astralis, they know the shortcomings in the situation for Na'Vi. They know the problems, and they will start slow. They will make it long and painful.
So much tension. Edward continuing forward position, always good for the CTs. Again, to try to complete more of the puzzle. Try to solve what they're doing. More noise made as we get map control beginning to be fleshed out here for Astralis, but they will likely need to retake this Suez position, and maybe, just maybe, Edward can show something special. But there's a beautiful comeback.
We've got Mexican waves in London. 2 rounds away. Simple with the AWP. Hasn't been much of anything in this series so far. Will it be the difference now for Gla1ve? It has to be now.
It has to be now. You're absolutely correct. He needs to come online. And dupreeh moves forward. Oh, they spot him. Simple's down to 18 points of health. A superior angle there for dupreeh. Electronic snaps, but he will be the one that gets snapped up. Zeus is blind, so is dupreeh, but he still makes it work somehow. It's certainly not a consistent way that Gla1ve can look to win some of these rounds, but they may look to change things here. Picking up the second orb on the flaming. Simple goes aggressive. Once again, Simple put into play with this orb. Can he deliver for Gla1ve? They need it most desperately now, and nice nade line up there from Edward. As Gla1ve go aggressive. Oh, a miss there from Simple. He's got to be hitting those jets.
It can be hard to get out of this position. You can see, no, dupreeh is going towards long instead, but it is very precarious for a sniper to move out of connector and into toilets, or anyone really. But they will escape, and they having an investment towards long now. Electronic and Simple, and dupreeh may be looking for information soon. Is Simple ready for the flick? Because dupreeh might be jumping up soon. Oh, the timing won't favour him. dupreeh in the toilets now, and Electronic is close long. Magisk and Zipex in connector. Edward on short B. So there is some information seeking here for Gla1ve, but how will it change as this clock continues to tick?
50 seconds, and Astralis begin to set themselves up for a push into this A site where Simple waits. Can he make good of that previous miss? Can he start getting some numbers on the board here as the grenades start to fly in to make his life impossible? Astralis cut off the front of the site, but it won't matter for Simple. Picks one off on the extremity there towards the long position. It's a hot shot through the smoke. It's Zeus to be blind and be taken down. Simple has to hold here, but Electronic is reliable. Pushes forwards. They know he's there. In comes the incendiary as Edward to make it through. Oh, the double! Surely the double, but no! Denied by Gla1ve. And it's a 2v2 here for Gla1ve, and it gets worse for Astralis. FACEIT with an incredible shot.
Gla1ve now alone in the 1 versus 2, lining up a flashbang. It's just missing the mark there. There's some fire coming back. The bombs are being defused. He has no idea. And there, I think most of the time Edward gets a 2-man spray down there in the toilet's position, and then maybe that could have been enough to lose in the round. But here they are.
Absolutely, and we don't see Simple as much, but we're seeing Electronic, we're seeing FACEIT coming to life. Edward doing the damage he needs to do, and here comes a quick push. Astralis to change the pace. Gla1ve ready. A shot to the chest of
rounds, but Astralis are on the buy once more. dupreeh on a Gla1ve to allow him to, well, maybe you had to get some produce in up the AK either way. But the rest are well equipped enough. Astralis, so well studied in Counter-Strike in general, as individuals, as teams, on their opponents. 2 rounds away from the major.
And Gla1ve said they like it when it gets emotional. That's when they play their best CS, and it can't be any more emotional than it is now. Maybe, just maybe, Electronic and FACEIT and their performances have lifted some pressure, at least off the shoulders of Simple. And we could see Gla1ve come to life. They are in position. They just must win this round to break that money of Astralis. They start to move towards that bomb site. And Gla1ve start to feel their presence. Simple at the forefront here. Can he catch someone rotating in? Yes, he can! And there's Simple.
That's an example of why that's such a strong position for a sniper. Can catch somebody coming out of the toilets, around the toilets, or in and out of connector. If you've got a skill, you can deliver. 5 versus 4. Zeus will join the players in the B bomb site. They are expectant. All of Astralis outside now. Device Magisk looking to line up grenades, it seems. Gla1ve close to short carry. More or less here for Gla1ve, and here comes the Bedlam once again.
Gla1ve knows this is something telegraph with that push from Electronic. Looks like Gla1ve
Major. London makes some noise. Astralis with all the tools. Destiny is in their hands now.
And there it is, Magisk with the first spot there, sees that presence on connector. Na'Vi, very aggressive, hyper-aggressive towards that position with those close combat weapons. These MP9s as mentioned, and Astralis really playing it safe there. They're expecting the aggression now that they spotted that push there in connector, and they start to play it slow through the playground's position. Astralis are making so sure that they do not get caught off guard here, that they can just close this with the weapon advantage that they have right now in this round.
Na'Vi's control of connector could end up being very important, but they don't have information towards A. Trapped there, so it can be their friend, but also become their enemy. And Astralis seem very expectant. Oh, connector from the top and the bottom at the same time. That is a really nice way to approach it. Is a trade there. Look at the flashbang just in case. Running out of bullets with a pre-fire. Look at how efficient this team are. They will give you no edge to capitalize on. Nothing to exploit. They are merciless.
And Astralis know as well that, okay, maybe they'll have to run the time down a lot, but if they can at least trade out, even if it's a 3 versus 4 in the favor of Na'Vi, at least they create more space on the map, so they have more to work with. And in 20 seconds here, maybe they're cutting this too fine. We have some grenades towards that A-bomb site, but here comes the fast rotation. There's going to be very little time when they come into this B-bomb site, but there's nobody there to stop the plant, surely. Edwards might make a quick run at this, but if he dies for nothing, it's a 2 versus 4, and he will die for nothing. Gla1ve makes sure of that.
Simple and flamey. That's all that's left between Astralis and the Major. Simple on the high ground with the CZ, and surely he's going to get taken out. Oh, there's a gift. He can pick up an AK. This might not be over yet. There's no kit there. They've got to go fast. Simple, the second one. They have to keep going. They've got to charge forward. He misses the jump. Flamey now with the 570s baiting. The player on short B is red. Touching the bomb. Are they going to peek? Holding it now, and there is it. It's just down to Flamey. It's not going to happen. Astralis have won the FACEIT London Major.